از کلیسا دور نشویم. در ایتالیا مرکز رهبری کاتولیک های جهان، کریستوفر کلاسی از همکیشان رافائل دومان سخنانی از جنس او دارد. کلاسی عضو هیئت علمی یک مؤسسه اسقفی است و کتابی با عنوان فاطمه دختر محمد تألیف کرده. به رغم تمام هماهنگی‌ها برای مصاحبه حضوری به دلیل قرنطینه عمومی در ایتالیا، این مصاحبه به شکل آنلاین انجام شد.
In terms of Fatima as a person, as a personality, so I am never ashamed to say that I greatly love Fatima. I am devoted to her, having written about her and spent a great deal of my life studying her. I have great devotion to Lady Fatima and great sympathy for her sufferings and her sorrows as a mother and as a daughter.
این کشیش که استاد مطالعات عربی اسلامی است، بخش زیادی از زندگی خود را وقف مطالعه اسناد اسلامی در مورد حضرت فاطمه کرده. او معتقد است
The legacy of Lady Fatima and her carrying the heritage of the Prophet forward, of course, is a very problematic issue because it is a sectarian issue at the beginning of historical Islam. We have to ask ourselves, how is it that Lady Fatima was sidelined, that she was pushed to the edges? And it seems, even if this is an uncomfortable fact for people, in terms of the attack on Lady Fatima, the physical attack. Now, obviously, as you know, this attack is more detailed in the Shi'i text than in the Sunni text, although the Sunni historians admit, like Tabari, for example, they admit that something happened, something bad happened, even if they don't give the details. Now, apparently, according to the text, this group came to demand the allegiance of Ali at his house, and voices were raised, and there was a threat against the house. And in the house was not just Ali and Fatima, but also the children, Zainab, Hassan and Hussein would have been in the house as well. So there was a physical threat against the house, and Lady Fatima, it seems to me from my reading of the text, Lady Fatima was coming out of the house to challenge this group when the door was attacked, and she was brutally hurt by the door, or even by the person kicking the door in. The details are not always clear, but certainly whoever did that, whoever would attack a woman, and a young, frail woman, because Fatima was quite a frail person. She suffered a great deal, but also the daughter of the Prophet who is pregnant. What human being does that? What human being would ever physically attack a woman? It is hard for me to imagine. So it is a brutal. That period of history is written from a variety of angles, and there are more, unfortunately, there are more Sunni historians writing about that period than there are Shi'i historians. The Shi'i historians are very few, but even the Sunni historians are prepared to admit that there was an action that took place at the house of Ali and Fatima. They won't necessarily go into detail, but they are willing to admit that something bad happened at the house. Now, I'm thinking especially of Tabari, because the history of Tabari is a very early history. He described the incident at the house, and he goes as far as saying that there was a very strong argument. And he emphasizes that it wasn't just a dispute, it was a very strong dispute. But he doesn't give details about physical attack. Those come in the Shi'i texts. But there is no reason why we should disregard one set of texts in favor of another. All of the texts read together suggest that something terribly bad happened at the house. It's just that some of the texts give us more physical detail than others do, and we have to put the text together and draw our conclusions from all of them. And my conclusion as an historian is that Lady Fatima was physically injured. Whether she was injured by the door being kicked in or by somebody actually kicking her, I'm not sure, but I know that she was physically injured. She suffered a miscarriage of a third son to whom she would have given birth, and she herself died eventually very soon after this, quite possibly aggravated by those injuries.
نظر او به عنوان یک کشیش محقق در زمینه نوشته‌های رافائل دومان نیز جالب است. او میگوید برایم نظرات یک کشیش در مورد ظلم اتفاق افتاده اصلاً تعجب آور نیست.
It doesn't surprise me that another priest should choose to write about her and highlight some of the issues around her life. And the issues around her life, the issues around Fadak and her inheritance that was taken away from her, the issues around the attack on the house in which she was beaten and miscarried the son who was in her womb at that time. The fact that she died very soon after that, within months of that, all of this is indeed an unforgivable thing. First of all, because she is a woman, and you don't attack a woman. Secondly, because she is a pregnant woman, and you certainly don't ever use violence of any sort against a pregnant woman. But most important, because of who she is the only surviving daughter of...
حضرت عمر کسی نبود که توهین بکنه به فاطمه الزهرا.